Let's take a look at how to use the left and right join clause in SQL. The left join is a clause that's used in the select statement. Now the left join will allow for you to query data from multiple tables. When using the left join, what it will do is return all the rows from the left table and the matching rows from the right table. Now, if there are no matching rows in the right table, then what will be returned will be null values. Now, the right join functions just as how the left join functions, with one key difference. It will use the table that is identified in the right join clause as the table in focus. So what that means is it will return all the data that's present in the right table and matching records that's in the left table, and when there are no records in the left table, then it will return the value of null. The syntax to use the left and right join clause is very similar. The only difference is the initial keyword used to start that statement or start that clause. Now, when using the clause, you'd first start off with providing the initial keyword, so whether it be left join or right join. Then you need to identify the table that you want to have joined to your original table in your query. After identifying that table, you will then use the on keyword, and after providing the on keyword, you then specify the criteria to create the linkage between the two tables. So for example, if you were to be using a left join, what you would be doing first is starting off with the left join keyword, then identifying the table that you want to have joined. So in this case, we have table B. Then provide the on keyword. Then we'll submit the criteria that we want for the linkage. And the criteria that we're submitting in this example would be table A, column 1 should be equal to table B, column 3. Now what that means is the values that are present in column 1 in table A, once they are equivalent to the value in column 3 table B, then it will be using those to form that relationship to join the two tables together. The left or right join clause is something that is used after the from clause and before the where clause in the select statement. Let's take a look at this in practice to get a better understanding as to how it will truly function and how the returning results will look. So we have our select statement, and we'll be focusing on the candidates table and the employees table. Now in this select statement, I have created a column called table and placed the value of left and right in each of the select statements just to indicate visually which table is the left table and which table is the right table, so that when we go into using both the left join and the right join, we're able to see quickly what is being returned and from what table. So we're going to execute both statements. So our candidates table will be our left table, and as we are seeing here, it returned 4 records, with the first column being table, having everything representing left, and then the columns that are actually in the table are ID and full name. And similarly, on the right table, we also have 4 records with 2 columns, ID and full name. So I'll be starting off by using our left join. So our statement would look like this. We'll have our select keyword, then we'll be providing the columns that we want to have returned. Now, in using this statement, what we have done is created an alias for both tables. So for the candidates table, we have referred to it as C, and for the employees table, we have referred to it as E. So what is being displayed here for the returning columns is C, which is the candidate table, and we're specifying that it should return all the columns in the candidates table. as well as for the employees table, we've specified for it to return all the columns in the employees table. So by using the alias and then providing the dot and asterisk, it will return all columns for that aliased table. Specifically for the join criteria, for the left join, we have specified that we want when the candidate table full name is equal to the employee full name to be used to join both tables together. So our statement starts off with the left join keyword and then providing the table that we want to have joined, the on criteria or the on keyword, then the criteria for joining. So we'll join based off of the full name from both tables. So we're going to execute all three statements so that we can see all the information to analyze. So here we're seeing the returning result. Now here we're seeing where it joined both tables. So the left table, which would have John Doe, Lily Bush, Peter Drucker, and Jane Doe, as we're seeing at top. And the right table, it only returned 2 records with value and the other 2 were null values. And these 2 records that it returned are the records that were matching in the right table. As we're seeing, both tables contain John Doe and Jane Doe, and in the right table it does not have Lily Bush or Peter Drucker. So what the returning result is signifying is that it returned all the records in the left table, it provided all the matching records in the right table, and when there were no matching records found in that table, it returned the value of null. The right join key difference is that it focuses first on the table that you're joining onto the primary table. So for the left join, we were focusing on the initial table and then the table that we want to have joined, and the right table is doing the reverse. So without changing the position of the tables as to where they were specified, in changing the keyword from left to right, what it will do now is return all the records in the right table and provide all the matching records in the left table, and where there are no records matching, it will return the value of null. So before executing, in looking at the right table, we know that John Doe and Jane Doe exists in the left table, but Michael Scott and Jack Sparrow is not present in the left table. So what we're expecting to see as our returning result will be John Doe, Jane Doe, Michael Scott, and Jack Sparrow. And on the left table, what we would see is the returning result for John Doe and Jane Doe, and then for the records that would be in line with Michael Scott and Jack Sparrow, it will return null values as we are focusing on the right table. So we're going to highlight and execute, and the return in result is as we are expected. We have returned John Doe and Jane Doe, and there are null values present for the left table, and for the right table we have returned John Doe, Jane Doe, Michael Scott, and Jack Sparrow. So let's execute all the statements just for reference, and we're seeing on the right table it does contain those records. So that's how we utilize the right join. So the right join and the left join are very similar, with the key difference being the table it focuses on to return the results.